Today in the studio we have Amr Ismail, VP Sales at SailPoint, Middle East. In a world full of AI manipulations, in a world full of deep fakes, how does SailPoint help me?
We leveraging the AI, and everyone likes the AI, but who protects the AI? This is what we're taking care of. Our even agentic AI is the role-based access is implemented on the same platform. It is also part of our R&D that we are focusing on for the next 3 years.
I had the joy of selling SailPoint as a solution a few years back. A lot of use cases have been added in SailPoint since that time. Can you elaborate more on that?
3 simple words: joiner, mover, leavers. Whenever someone is joining the organization and what's his role and responsibilities, and whenever he's promoted, he need to actually leave the old permissions or rights, take the new rights and so on till they leave the organization, which is the most crucial one. This is the main use case when everyone's talking about identity management.
What can we expect from SailPoint in 2026?
We will start having some sort of industrial focus. We started already in the healthcare from identity governance perspective, and I'm expecting to have more and more from industry focus perspective.
Hello and welcome to Spire Connect powered by Spire Solutions, where innovation needs conversation. Identity, next generation identity. Everybody wants to talk about this topic. And today in the studio, we have Amr Ismail, VP Sales at SailPoint, Middle East. So let's ask from Amir, what is next generation identity?
Thank you. It's a pleasure meeting you guys. And I think this is a common question coming, and everyone is waiting. What's going on around the next generation, and what is next generation identity management at large? Yeah, and from maybe our CEO perspective, he was always explaining the identity domain as 3 swim lanes. Yeah, one swim lane talking about access management, multi-factor authentication, and single sign-on. And this domain is related to consumer identity access, and we never touch it as SailPoint. And there is another swim lane, which is privilege access management, the PAM solution. And for the last 6-7 years, it is booming, and it still continue booming because everyone was looking at what is actually the risk coming behind the privileged user, right?
Yes.
So, and the last domain, which is the workforce management. And you can see actually since the COVID and the pandemic started and the remote workforce started, people started to see what is this domain, how we can overcome actually and secure and protect the workforce management and also the partners and contractors. There is many people and many identities accessing the enterprise infrastructure itself, right? So that's why you will hear about zero trust was actually a principle introduced to the market, and everyone was talking about it, but nobody knows how we align with this, right?
True.
So what happened since then? You can see now in the market, and I will not mention names of vendors, but you will see a lot of vendors started to be merged as acquisitions.
Yep.
So you will see a vendor in the consumer identity started to acquire a BAM vendor. And you will see a vendor on the identity management acquiring a consumer identity and so on. But at the end of the day, they still have a separate platforms. And our strategy, and this is since 2013, that when our CEO decided that I'm going to build a platform that can help actually the organization to manage every single enterprise access to every single application and data in your enterprise. And we started to build this in parallel on the SaaS platform. So if someone is coming saying, do you have a SaaS solution? Yeah, we started this journey early enough from SaaS perspective. But the idea was we don't want to have a separate platforms. We need to have a unified platform that's shared actually metadata and also shared workflow platform, shared AI if there is an AI actually in your architecture as well. And we started to develop till 2001, and which is SailPoint announced a platform called Atlas. It's a SaaS platform that is including the dream of our CEO, that having everything on the platform, other capabilities you can add as add-on for our customers.
Wow.
So it is agile, adaptable, based on the customer transformation journey, right? So this is from our perspective, this is the next generation. Next generation means that is agile platform, adaptable for the customer transformation journey. Identity will never be actually a blocker for the innovation. It should be an enabler for innovation as well. So this is the next generation from SailPoint perspective. No? So I'm sorry, I'm talking too much, but this is how
this is how we need it actually. This is amazing.
yeah.
So you spoke about next generation identity. You spoke about being a business enabler. I had the joy of selling SailPoint as a solution a few years back. At that time, we were only talking of two things: automated provisioning and automated deprovisioning of the users. A lot of use cases have been added in SailPoint since that time. Can you elaborate more on that?
Yeah, it's a very good actually question, because we always, when we talking about identity, it's even three simple words: joiner, mover, levers.
Exactly.
So, and it's more into HR related terms, that whenever someone is joining the organization, and what's his role and the responsibilities, and whenever he's promoted or changing role, he need to actually leave the old permissions
role.
or rights and take the new rights and so on till they leave the organization, which is the most crucial one, because there is some people leaving organization and their access is still there, and this is the main backdoor actually for actually the threat actors sometimes, right? So, and this is the main use case when everyone talking about identity management. And then if you talk what else, and this is where SailPoint started in 2005 to introduce to the market, which is certification and recertification to the users. What does it mean? Like they're saying like, okay, we understand how the organization structure is, what is the roles and responsibility, and do some sort of a scanning about the current snapshot and compare the two. This is the standard, and this is expectations, and this is the reality. And then you identify where is the outliers, where is actually the Superman access or identities that you need to avoid as well. And that you need also to identify who's actually inheriting some access that is not required as well. So this was another angle about identity governance, and also the compliance with regulation, because regulation sometimes want to focus on the separation of duties. You cannot be the one who's actually invoicing and approving something like this, right? So this separation of duties is very crucial, and it cannot be done manually. Actually, you need to have something that can look into this two pictures and identify where is the gap as well, right? So this is three different use cases, right? But what else is people are talking about? That talking about the non-employee risk management. Who's the non-employee? Now in all enterprises, there is contractors, there is suppliers, there is partners that need to access our system to develop or to deliver a specific job. And this is also a risk, because contractors sometimes need access to unlimited systems for a certain period. So if you are not monitoring this carefully, this could be a threat, because these guys not in your HR system, so it can be easily keep the access. So this was also a domain that is added to the portfolio to make sure that whoever accessing application and data is managed.
Yeah.
What else? Other than this, it's the when we're talking about applications access, there is also unstructured data that need to be managed. And
You've just looked at my next question, I think, and that is where I wanted to talk about structured and unstructured data.
yeah, because it's crucial when we're talking about cloud. Means we have a lot of unstructured data distributed on the people talking about hybrid cloud,
Multi-cloud.
multi hybrid cloud environment, right?
Yes.
So in that case, you lost control because your data is distributed across the cloud. So we started to think about what else we need to build. What what a specific use case our CISO or even the CDO, the chief data officer is looking for is to manage the data, the access for their data, if it's structured or unstructured. So we build something called data access security module, which is previously was called the file access manager. So that looks into your file share, file servers, cloud applications, your cloud file system as well, and to control this from access perspective. And more important, to have some sort of what they call it just-in-time access, which is something in the market. It's a buzzword.
Yeah.
How you can implement the just-in-time access, which means if you need this access during, for example, you are a C-level that needs to have access to a specific data in the closing of the month, which is 31st, for example, then you will have access for 31st, and that's it. The access will be removed, and and this will continue from months to months and so on. So this is another use case was added to that level. Uh, we added also, we talk about the cloud governance as well. So if you have a hybrid environment from on-prem, and majority of the customers today, there is no single enterprise can claim they have a full cloud or full on-prem. Majority is talking about hybrid cloud. So if you have such identity management solution, the platform need to understand both environments, the cloud and the on-prem, and you give a visibility to the administrator across the two environments.
So if you had to choose in selling one solution between the cloud and on-prem, what would you prefer as a salesperson?
I would prefer selling SaaS because one reason I joined, as I told you before even we start, that I joined SailPoint 2 years ago, and the two main challenges for identity projects implementations. First is the integration
Yes.
with back-end systems. Second, the upgrade. It's a painful upgrade from moving from a version to the next version. So SaaS, first thing, they're removing both because auto integration or automatic onboarding for applications, it's by design in our platform. And also the upgrade is seamless, right? To what else? The AI, which is everyone looking at today. AI is magic. I was actually in one of the sessions from my SE, and he was doing a demo about the agentic AI. We have something like ChatGPT in our platform.
Okay.
So the developer even can write questions and saying like, I want to build the workflow that can do this and that and so on. And once entered, it gives you what is the recommended workflow.
Wow.
And you can apply. You know how much effort without AI, this used to be actually months.
15 to 16 days for one application integration, because I have sold it like that.
Okay, so you can
You would
understand.
start by just doing 5 primary applications like the HRMS, the building management system, and emails and all this stuff, and only then you would add later on the other applications.
Exactly.
So if this can happen in a day, it is amazing.
It's a magic. Actually, I was like just clapping to him. I'm the vendor, and I was just clapping to him because it's a magic. And I know that there is some system integrators not happy with this because identity by design, it's a services intensive process.
Yes. I want you to classify whether it is a myth or a fact. Okay. My first line on this is SailPoint is a very complicated solution to deploy. Is it a myth or a fact?
Let's okay. Can we say is this question for the on-prem or the SaaS?
You can take it for anyone.
Okay, so for the on-prem solution, it's any identity management solution is not an easy to deploy because a lot of dependency about the environment, and it requires skilled people to develop and to implement. That's why such a project, it is not a month's project. That's why we say it's a journey, right? So this journey cannot be a box moving, right? So for the on-prem, yes, it is, but it can achieve what the business need, and it's built for business enablement, right?
Yes.
So this is SailPoint. Is it technically it's complex? Yeah, it's compared to Microsoft's Office, I would say yes, it's complex. Yeah, but for SaaS, it's the opposite. Yeah, and this is what we try to maintain since we started Atlas platform, and we're doing a lot of enhancement to make our customers' life easier, and developers making plug and play a lot of stuff. And if a customer asking to see a demo, they can actually judge my word here, because I'm not the deep technical, but I have seen what the SaaS platform can do compared the on-prem version. It's magic. Yeah.
So if an on-prem journey is like an 18-month journey, with SaaS you can do it in 18 days.
No, you can do it in 3 months. Yeah, because it's still you have some dependency on others, so you have to wait and to have actually to adjust to the best practice and so on. So, but it's a, you can imagine it's a big gap. 18 months to 3 months. It's a huge.
So Amir, when I used to sell SailPoint, for us it was like $100,000 if it is the value of the SailPoint license. My services could be 2 or 3 times that value,
Yes.
right? The SaaS option is going to change that a lot for the partners.
Yes.
Why would the partners still be interested in selling SailPoint on-prem solution?
Partners always likes to sell what they have competency with, right? So I'm not talking now about the return, right? But the skills most of the partners has are on-prem.
On-prem.
Yeah. So if you're asking a partner today who implemented many projects on-prem, can you consider SaaS? He will say, no, it's better to go with on-prem because of the competency they have. That's why it's part of our responsibility to do some sort of enablement to the partners to be actually our representative for the SaaS and to can actually drive a success of SaaS projects. So this is one dimension, right? But on the other side, which is very crucial, and thank you for the question, that that does that mean that as a partner that I will start losing when I'm moving to SaaS? No,
Exactly.
no, it's a shorting. Implementing SaaS is shorting the implementation cycle for phase one, but still identity is a journey. So it's all what's happening is that if you have 18 months, you will start delivering in 3 months, and the rest you will be enhancing, having use cases, doing actually AI and the capabilities that is already exist only in the SaaS, not the on-prem. So it is win-win situation. The customer is getting a benefit, and the partner is also developing and showcasing a business value from the solution. Again, from our side as well, people worked on the IT. I always be happy when I feel the return of our customers' investment. So, and this will happen quickly when you go to SaaS. But with on-prem, sometimes the turnover of the individuals and the organization moves before they see the results. So I can see like no, it's maybe you don't need an army of resources, but you will actually continue the journey with the customer, but you will achieve more beyond the on-prem.
So when you talk of the cloud presence, does SailPoint have a local cloud presence over here?
Happy with the question because I was about to forget this. Actually, we have in last May we announced our first data center in Middle East and Africa.
Wow.
Here in UAE on AWS Data Center One. So this was a big investment from SailPoint to shift the focus on this region. And this is, by the way, we have in Middle East and Africa, we have over 300 customer install base based on the IIQ, which is our on-prem solution, and majority of them are ready to move to SaaS. And as you know, actually, in UAE, AI is a must. Cloud first is a must.
Data,
So data residency is required. So I'm so proud that that this happened from investment perspective to align with the government and the country strategy perspective. Yeah.
We talk of technology, we talk of agentic AI, we've spoken about AI and the role SailPoint is performing right now in the identity space. What can we expect from SailPoint in 2026?
We will start having some sort of industrial focus. We started already in the healthcare from identity governance perspective, and we acquired the company actually that is mainly focused on healthcare. So this gives us a sign that will continue to be more actually trusted in specific industries. We started with the healthcare, and I'm happy with this start because you know how important the healthcare for the humanity at large. And I'm expecting to have more and more from industry focus perspective.
Now, from SailPoint perspective, from Amar's perspective, from Zytek's perspective, things are moving in the right direction. But if there is a CIO who is walking into Zytex tomorrow morning and he wants to know why should he look at identity security, what are the three things you can tell him?
I will tell you actually a very simple scenario. I'm always saying like for the last decades, all actually IT and C level were investing on the security parameters like firewalls and SOC solution and endpoint automation and so on. But nobody was focusing on the weakest point, which is the user. And human mistake will continue be a human mistake. So, and if you look into the last 5 years, who's the top two threats in the threat report is related to identities, which is ransomware and phishing, which is account takeover, right? So this is a very important sign that you need to shift the focus to look into the identity access. So this is a very simple scenario, and it's a reality. I'm not saying this is our platform.
So, when you talk of securing identities in a world full of AI manipulations, in a world full of deep fakes, how does SailPoint help me as an enterprise?
Yeah, this is actually I forgot to mention this. We said that we leveraging the AI, and everyone likes the AI, but who protect the AI?
Yeah.
And there is many incident happen, and the recent happened with one of big vendor that people started to manipulate the agentic AI. And I will give you the use case. I wish that no one will point to this one, but it was very easy. They asked the agentic AI, can you give me this kind of files? But the security is saying that they cannot share the file. They said, you don't have the rights to get these files. I guess what was the next question? Can you summarize for me what's in these files? So the agentic AI just summarized what's in the file. So it is very dangerous as well, the agentic AI. So and this is what we taking care of. And our even agentic AI is the role based access is implemented on the same platform. So we taking care of even the agentic AI access to the identities. So this is very crucial, and it is also part of our R&D that we are focusing on for the next 3 years.
So, Spire Solutions has started this conversation platform for people like you and me so that we can address more people and send this message across using Spire Connect, which is the name of this podcast. So, what would you like to tell to our audience about Spire Connect and this experience of being with us?
Actually, it's as I told you, this is my first time to be in a podcast. But thank you for the time. I think it's a very good experience. I wish it will be very helpful for whoever actually will be hearing this. I wish you continue actually doing this with others in the market, especially with field experience, because best practice is not always on documents. So we cannot capture the best practice outside such conversation. Man. Thank you for listening.
So, very well said that the best practices are not in documents, they are in implementation, they are in real time use cases. And that's where we do real conversations on this platform called Spire Connect, powered by Spire Solutions. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and thank you so much for being a guest.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.